Hello there, everybody. Saban92, aka Nightmare, and I think this is probably going to be it. So, there was one thing that I was kind of told, or I was given a little bit here. I haven't looked at it yet. I want to try to finish what I'm doing right now. But after I've cleared this, Daniel Dawson, thank you very much for giving me a file that so obviously the fragment section that was way back when, if I did that in a certain order, I was going to get a certain scene. However, I unfortunately never did get it in the correct order. But thanks to you, you gave me a save file that after I've finished this, I will take a look at and put it into this as well for a proper send-off. To probably, actually, I think this might have been the first visual novel series that I ever did on the channel. Now that I think about it. Hell, I think it's thanks to Higurashi and Umineko that the channel actually got as far as it has. So, I'm kind of stuck in that I'm stuck back in those feelings of whenever I finally ended Umineko, and I just like, well, fuck, I don't want it to end. I don't know, I just don't know. Also, I went ahead and shared my thoughts about that scene with Hanyu and Takano already in the Discord, so yeah. Hanyu, where are you?
Hanyu-chan, answer if you can hear us.
I hear a voice in the distance. I see a girl standing in front of me. She is one of Mion's club members. I hated enemies. She has found me. The rain has stopped already. I come out from the tree. Oh, this is Takano again? After the rain, it feels so humid. My body is sweaty. My body is soaked in sweat, mud, and rain. I feel filthy. I've been bitten by mosquitoes and my body is itching all over. This is why I hate mountains. Don't say a word. I point the gun. The girl is just looking at me calmly as if she doesn't see the gun. But at least she doesn't say a word. What should I do? Should I take her as my hostage? I only have one bullet. How long can I run? Hanyu! Where are you? Damn, she is really lost.
Oh, there she is. Hanyu-san.
Hanyu, where have you...
I am really unlucky. Or maybe I am lucky. At the very end, I can finally make amends. Do you know what this is? This is a gun. Don't move. The tables have turned. Shit. Mion-chan, if you don't want anyone else to get shot, step forward.
No, don't, Mi-chan.
Mion steps forward quietly. She has impressive courage, worthy of a leader.
Thanks to you, I'm all ruined. There's some scary man on the mountain who want to kill me. I won't be forgiven. But I can't just go like this. So I want to take revenge at least.
Huh. I know you only have one bullet in that gun.
That's right. But that one bullet may kill Mion-chan, right?
Takano, are you going to shoot me?
Don't move! If you do, I may just shoot someone. Don't any of you move. Just stay behind me. How brave. Are you trying to take the one bullet to safeguard your friends? Are you trying to sacrifice yourself?
Well, it's not that easy to kill someone with just one shot. Of course, it depends on where you get shot, though.
I'm impressed. How brave you are. Are you trying to make me shoot at you instead of anyone else? Just so you know, if you think that I'll hesitate to shoot because those men will rush here once they hear a gunshot, you're wrong.
Go ahead, shoot me. But after you shoot me, my friends will rip you to pieces.
Yeah, right. Are you trying to scare me? If I can take down the most famous leader defeated Okanogi with me, that's not a bad idea. Go ahead and shoot me, but make sure that it's me you shoot. If you shoot anyone else, I will put you through hell. Oh my, I'm scared.
Oh, don't, Michan. Takano-san is serious. She will shoot you.
We're gonna lose somebody, aren't we?
Somehow, we have to buy some time, and then someone from the watchdogs will come.
No, but I'll shoot before I lose my chance. Let's see. Where should I shoot her? I'm not good at this, so forgive me for not being able to aim well. You aren't serious, are you? Don't anyone move. I'm the leader of this club. If I can protect you, I'm happy. If I don't make it, set up a shrine inside of my locker and pray for me. You take over my position, Kei-chan. You all help him, okay?
Oh, come on, don't! Miona's prepared to die.
I'm already cornered. I won't accept any words or negotiation. Mion understands that. She doesn't want anyone else to be killed. That was why she chose to be a shield for everyone else. That was an easy decision to make for Mion, because none of her friends would be hurt. If she ends up just getting injured, that would be a stroke of luck as far as she's concerned. Even if she doesn't make it, she thinks that's far better than seeing any of her friends die. That's why I will shoot Mion. I can understand her nobleness too well. It's almost painful to accept. That's why I will shoot her. I will pull the trigger. With all the absurdities of the human world riding on the bullet, I will shoot her. You all play games often, right? Do you play Old Maid? No. We play a derivative of Old Maid, though. They use the same rules. The human world is just like Old Maid. Nobody wants to pick the Joker. That's like trying to pick a loser and a sacrifice instead of a winner. I picked the Joker, but there's nobody else to pass the card to. That's why I will shoot you as revenge. That's very suitable for this absurd human world, don't you think? I get ready to shoot. I have no hesitation. I will shoot. I am serious. Mion closes her eyes and opens her arms to try and protect her friends as much as she can. That's when Hanyu steps forward and places herself in front of Mion. Hanyu! Get back! Brave Mion. I've witnessed your courage. It's more than enough. How the hell are you doing that voice? If the Joker can't be past anyone else in this human world, it's my job to accept it. Hanyu, what are you... Rika, I had a lot of fun in this world. Thank you for letting me join the club. It was so much more fun to be in it than just to watch. Thank you. I enjoyed myself. I was so happy. Then Hanyu glares at me adamantly. Come on. Shoot. You, human child.
Oh, this is another bit of a, this might have been a bit of a mistranslation, but instead of saying human child, I think she's supposed to say child of man.
Shoot the sin of this human world that you must pass on. I will accept it. Okay. Fine! Die! The club members must have thought I was joking or bluffing. They didn't think I would actually shoot. It sounds like something exploded. Everything looks sticky like starch syrup. In that sticky world everyone sees, the silver bullet sticks into an invisible wall in front of Hanyu. It's like there's a clear wall protecting Hanyu. The bullet wants to pierce Hanyu's chest, but it's not going to reach its goal. There is a bead of sweat on Hanyu's forehead. Hanyu has stopped the bullet with power that nobody can see. Hanyu! I'm okay. I can do this even in the human body.
The silver bullet is being pushed back.
I am astonished, and then say the word. You monster!
The silver bullet smashes through the clear wall. There is no wall. There isn't a wall to protect Hanyu from the bullet. The bullet is approaching Hanyu's chest. Nobody can stop it. Nobody can stop the bullet. In this frozen time, nobody can stop the bullet that's frozen just inches from Hanyu's chest. Hanyu's friends have seen this scene before. This is the scene of checkmate. No matter how much they scream, there's no way to avoid the tragedy. They know from their memories.
You will die for sure. Think about good old memories as much as you want. When you're finished doing that, the bullet will pierce your chest, drown in your own blood. Unless I was prepared to do so, I wouldn't be here. Hanyu thinks this will take care of everything. Hanyu wasn't supposed to exist in the first place. She will leave the stage, and the rest of the cast will stay unharmed. This is how it's supposed to be. Then, something that surprises even Hanyu takes place. In this frozen world where nobody can move, Rika reaches out and puts her hand on the frozen bullet in the air. How can she move? Even Hanyu can't move. Why? How can Rika, a mere human, move? Don't be surprised about that. You've already learned about it. You've learned about how to make a miracle happen. A lot of amazing things happened today, but none of them were worthy of being called a miracle. If we all believed in each other, it was supposed to happen. Therefore, I will perform a real miracle in this last moment. I am the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama, after all, so let me make a miracle happen at the end.
Rika rubs the frozen bullet gently, very gently, then holds it, and embraces it lovingly, hands at her chest. In this world where not even Hanyu can move.
Now I realize that neither Takuno nor Hanyu listen when other people talk. Did you hear what Mion said? We don't play Old Maid. We only play a derivative of Old Maid. Takuno laughed and said they were basically the same game, but they are totally different.
Oh, don't tell me she just fucking killed herself. In Old Maid, the Joker, which is a discord, is added to 52 harmonized cards. And players try to get rid of the Joker. But in their game, one card is taken from the harmonized cards, and players try to get rid of that card. The card is different from the Joker. It was once part of the harmonized set of cards. Players try to get rid of something in both games, but what they try to get rid of is very different. In our game, the loser is left with one last card, too. I can understand how Takuno thought they were the same thing, but they are different. Because in our game, if the missing card was added, there would be no loser. Hanyu joined a world where a sin has to be pushed onto someone else as the missing card. Therefore, there won't be a loser in this game. Yet you're still trying to take one card away? That's a waste of a miracle.
This world doesn't need a loser. That is the answer I finally reached after a 1,000-year journey, trying to find a miracle.
The answer has always been there. It was there in the very first game of Mion's club. There is a loser because they play a game with a deck of cards that lacks one card. If they believe in each other and help each other to compensate for the missing card, then they become a complete deck of cards. A complete world without a loser. A complete world where no one is left out. Nobody has to stay out of the circle. Nobody has to cry or be burdened with sins. A world where everyone holds each other's hands and forgives each other's sins. When people live, there will be sins. What's important isn't to avoid sins, but to forgive them. A world becomes ugly and twisted when people try to stay pure. Let us accept our sins Let us all forgive. That's what Furudei-Rika reached. A complete world. A world free from the sins of the human world where one has to become a loser. Rika reached it as a human. After an unbelievably long time, she finally reached it. Welcome home, Mother. The frozen time has thawed. There is smoke coming from the muzzle, so the gun was fired, but nobody got hit. Keiichi looks around fearfully to make sure nobody is bleeding. Everyone's fine. Nobody has been shot. You missed. Serves you right. Mion's tension is released and she suddenly starts sweating badly.
How did I miss it this distance?
It's called a miracle, bitch.
All the club members think the same thing. It was a miracle that the bullet didn't hit anyone. The club members were all thinking the same thing. They were thinking, if it is going to hit someone, let it hit me. But Furudei-Rika wished for a miracle that was far beyond that. Rika wished for a miracle that was higher than self-sacrifice. She wished for a world where the bullet wouldn't hit anyone. She wished for a world where Takano wouldn't be hurt because she shot someone. Footsteps are rushing towards them. Takano tries to run, but she trips over a root and the scrapbook in her hand scatters. As she tries to gather the papers, members of the watchdogs surround her. All the watchdogs point their guns at her, and some even poke her with them, but Takano still doesn't stop gathering the papers. Some men are stepping on the papers, and Takano tries to pull them out. She tries to pull them, begging them in tears not to step on them.
Major Takano, you are under arrest.
So, it's all my fault, huh?
The club members feel bad for her and look down.
Stand up. Put your hands behind your back. Hey, don't resist!
No. I want to take my grandpa's scrapbook with me. No.
Takano just wants to pick up the pages of the scrapbook, but the watchdogs think she is just resisting, so they pull her hair and try to make her stand up. Although this is her fate, it's too hard to watch her like this. That's when they all hear a noble voice. Wait! A man shows up with divine radiance. We know this man very well, but we've never seen him as determined as this. I'm First Lieutenant Tomotaki from the Investigation Department. We will take her!
But we've been ordered by headquarters to bring her back to Tokyo immediately.
Can't you tell? Look at her body! Look at all the scars! She's been scratching herself! She must have the Hinamizawa syndrome! There are lots of horrible scars on her wrists, arms, and neck. Takano scratched herself throughout the day today because she was so stressed out. There's no way of knowing if those scratches are symptoms of the syndrome. But when Tomotaki says so, they sure look like they are.
But the Major must have been given a medication to prevent her from getting the disease. She shouldn't get it.
Haven't you read the report? It says that the inoculation isn't 100% effective. If you'd read the report completely, you would know her condition is in the final phase. God, the investigation department thinks her treatment should take priority. We must determine if this incident was her will or if she was delusional because of the syndrome and someone took advantage of that situation. We have to determine this very carefully, otherwise it'll be impossible to resolve this matter. Was it her fault, or was it the fault of her disease? It's impossible to determine right now. To judge that, she has the right to receive treatment, and she is obligated to let herself be treated.
Jiro-san.
Take her to the Erie Institution immediately and examine her. Notify Lieutenant Colonel Erie so that he can prepare to treat Major Takano. However, make sure to observe Major Takano strictly from now on. Her attack activities will be limited. Damn, Tomotaki in with the save here. Details will be provided by Colonel Oka through headquarters. The watchdogs are conveying everything on the radio. Nobody has an objection. Their job was to arrest her. Interrogation and investigation are jobs for the investigation department. If the investigation department is telling them so, then their job here is done. Tomotaki walks up to the muddy figure of Takano.
Jiro-san. Jiro-san.
Aww.
Takano buries her face in Tomataki's chest and cries. Only Tomataki and Takano know the meaning of those tears. Sorry for being late. I'm here for you. God. You aren't as bad as you think. You can start over. You can start your life over as Tanashi Miyoko. I can't. I can't. I've committed too many sins. I shouldn't be allowed to start over. I should be dead. Otherwise, the weight of my sins will... That's right. Your sins may not be so light. But don't worry. I'll be with you. We can atone together. Let's atone for Takano Mio's sins. And let's bring back Tanashi Miyoko together. Until then, I'll be right here with you. And I continue to live? Can I live? Everyone tells me that if I die, things will work out. But can I still live? Are you saying I'm allowed to live? Can I be forgiven? The world may not forgive you. But so what? I forgive you. So let's live. Death can't atone for sins. You must live and ask the world to forgive you, and then start your life over. Then you will remember. You will remember what kind of person you used to be, and what kind of smile you used to have. After a while, Takano was taken to the Eerie Institution in handcuffs. But she was handcuffed with her hands in front of her. She was holding the scrapbook. Tomataki cleaned the mud off of it. The downpour from the early afternoon has passed. The sound of cicadas restarts and reminds everyone that this is a normal June in Hinamizawa. Though it's only June, it's so hot. The sky is so clear. Someone asks someone else the time. She looks at her watch. It's 3 p.m. The Watanagashi Festival starts at 5 p.m. It's almost time. The Furude Shrine can be seen from here. There are red lanterns hanging there. Once the sun goes down, those lanterns will be lit. It's almost time for the Watanagashi Festival. And everything will end. Higurashi, When They Cry. The game of the different worlds has ended. And what the winner obtains after the victory is that the game ended without a loser. Hanyu was prepared to leave after the game was over, but she is still here. She is allowed to be here. In other words, she isn't the card that was taken away. The card that was taken to play their old maid Derivit is no longer here. The breeze rustles Hanyu's sweaty, messed up hair. She's dumbfounded. Rika comes over and stands next to her. She doesn't need any words. She smiles at Hanyu. The girl pretended to be a bystander but decided to go on the stage. And then she thought that was enough and tried to step off the stage. As she tried to step off the stage, remembering her glorious moments, someone pulled her sleeve. She was told that she could stay. Then she realized she was still on the stage and she didn't have to leave anymore. There is a spot for her on the stage, and she is no longer a bystander. That is an unbelievable miracle. She didn't even exist in the script. Nobody needed her, but the miracle allowed her to be here. You suffered so much during your journey. This miracle isn't even enough to repay you for what you have gone through.
Nipa. This is more than enough. This miracle is more than enough.
Rika smiles at Hanyu one more time and gives what's in her right fist to Hanyu. Hanyu feels something hard in her hand. What is it? Hanyu opens her hand slowly and looks at it. It is the bullet Takano fired. This is the proof of the miracle. This is the proof that Hanyu can exist here. This is the proof that they can be together forever and ever. It'll be dark soon. It's time for the festival. We'll have so much fun together. You can't just watch anymore. I'm sure there will be plenty of punishments to torment the poor newcomer.
I don't have to just watch the Watanagishi festival, huh?
That's right. Because you don't watch a festival, you enjoy it.
Are they testing the speakers? It's still bright outside, but the music is already on. The cheap-sounding background music of Japanese orchestra is being played at the Furude Shrine. It sounds so exciting. This is what she has been wanting to join. Rika holds her hand. Let's go together. Let's go to the Watanagishi festival. All of us. Together. Yes. They are almost too energetic. It's been a long day and many things have happened, but they still have energy to go to the festival. But today is a special day at Watanagishi. The curse of Oyashiro-sama has been lifted, and a tragedy will never happen again. This is the first peaceful Watanagishi without a tragedy since the dam conflict. The villagers had noticed that the phone lines were temporarily disconnected during the day, but it was fixed quickly, so they didn't pay much attention. They heard the Self-Defense Force helicopters near the mountain, but the rumor said they came to the wrong mountain for their training. Elderly villagers laugh and say that the young men of the National Defense and the Army need to pay more attention. Some people say the Self-Defense Force even came to the Erie Clinic. The villagers don't even get suspicious about that. They assume that the Erie Clinic has started doing physical checkups for the Self-Defense Force. Totally normal. There are pieces of broken glass on the roadside near the village border as if there was an accident. People wonder how anyone could have had an accident when there's no obstruction on the road. Elderly people say to each other that they always have to drive carefully even on a familiar road. But it looks like a trace of a normal accident, so they don't get suspicious. The rest is a ghost story. Villagers heard an extra firework to signal the festival taking place today. It wasn't an echo. Fireplace workers were puzzled. But when Rika said Oyashiro-sama must have shot the extra firework, the villagers believed that. Tonight is the night of Watanagishi, the biggest festival of the year. The villagers forget about everything and enjoy themselves. The club members are doing great as usual. Hey, Shion. Well, they were doing so great that they were all taken to the main tent and yelled at by the village leader. That sounds about right. It was a normal Watanagishi night for the villagers. But there was one thing that was very different. The girls fought for an unimaginably long time in many different worlds to let this night happen. However, nobody would ever know that. There was a big change. Furude Rika started to say she wanted to go to the pool during the summer. It is unusual for her to say she wants to do something. She wants to see the stars. She wants to go on a camping trip. She wants to observe sunflowers. She wants to change the school into a haunted house, etc. There are so many things she wants to do during summer break. Right. Furude Rika, for the first time, makes plans for after June of the 58th year of the Showa era. She can finally enjoy herself! Because this is the first summer break she is going to experience after 100 years of repeating the same life. She will now experience an all-new summer vacation. Who can stop her from getting excited about it? Furude Rika is looking forward to waking up before Satoko to rip the page of the calendar at the end of the June of the 58th year of the Showa era. Furude Rika's infinite future begins. There are infinite possibilities, but she can only make one choice. But that's why it's a great world. Let's talk about the people who fought with Furude Rika. Sonozaki Mion has vowed to study hard to continue her education after the summer break. According to Keiichi, even that may not be enough time for her. However, how can the legendary leader Sonozaki Mion fail an entrance exam? She will more than likely find a way to get into the school she wants to go to, whether they like it or not. Hopefully, her way isn't illegal. Well, this is Mion we're talking about. Anyway, she's looking forward to enjoying her last summer break, so she has tons of plans. The club members can't get away from Mion even during summer. She won't let them escape. Once you're involved with her, she'll always be with you. No matter how much you want to be alone, you'll never go back to spending a boring summer alone. Mayabara Keiichi has been asked by Mion and Shie-sensei to be the next class representative. He was also asked to be the club leader too, but he declined immediately. Keiichi likes the club because it's Mion's club. He continues saying that it's Mion's club, and finally, Mion becomes angry. Keiichi doesn't understand why she's angry. Keiichi is so insensitive. Damn it, Mayabara! Things are going great with him. His name is now spreading, even in Okinomiya. Give me some updates about Oishi, I'm begging you. Ryogu Rena is doing great too. She's getting better and better every day. Except you can't avoid her cute mode. Satoko, Rika, and Hanyu spend every day feeling fearful of being abducted. That's about right. Rena's been acting more mature lately. She takes care of her younger classmates, and she's almost like a mother figure to the class. She's like a mother to all the club members, too. Then Keiichi says he will be a father for the class. Rena thinks too much about it as usual and blushes. And then Keiichi gets promptly knocked out. Hojo Satoko is as energetic as ever. Good. She used up most of her traps on the mountain during the battle with the mountain hounds, so she's setting up new ones for the next event. A rumor says that some members of the Watchdogs were so impressed with her trap techniques, and that they asked her for some instructions.
What? You know, this little girl's actually kind of smart. We should probably take some tips. I agree with that, First Lieutenant. Do you just realize what the hell we're talking about? Yep, we're gonna get tips from a little girl. Alright, set it up for Saturday? Hell yeah!
There's supposed to be a practice area near Mount Fuji, and they asked her to set up her traps there. That's not a very good idea. People would never come back if she did. Nowadays, Satoko says she wants to fight against the Watchdogs next. She's invincible. That'd be awesome. Also, she has become a great cook. Can she tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower yet? That's because Hanyu's been teaching her. According to Hanyu, Satoko is a quick learner compared to Rika. Satoko's dream is to master fried chicken, which is her brother's favorite, and welcome him home with it. I'm the only one who knows this. Her dream may come true very soon. Yes! And her brother, Hojo Satoshi, hasn't come back yet. There's been no change in his condition, I figured. Maybe Sonozaki Shion's change should be mentioned. She comes over to the clinic on her days off. Nobody knows why she comes, but she seems to be very happy, so nobody pays much attention. Mion teases Shion that maybe she's getting ready for a boob job, but Shion only smiles back at her. Shion has also been purchasing some men's clothing lately. She buys things other than clothes for men, but nobody knows why she comes to the clinic with a maid costume that's not her size. Huh? Excuse me? What? The biggest change must be that Shion babies Satoko nowadays. Shion tries to make Satoko call her Nene, which only annoys Satoko. That sounds about right. Iri Kyosuke has two jobs now. On one hand, he is a respected doctor, and on the other hand, he is an evangelist for maids. What? The Iri clinic was supposed to be closed, but the villagers pleaded with the authorities not to close it. He isn't originally from the village, but now he and others all agree that he is one of the villagers. He actively contributes to the village. Evangelist to maids? The research of the Hinamizawa syndrome is no longer passive. The syndrome is being researched passionately, so hopefully, in the near future, all the victims of this disease will be freed for good. Also, later on, Erie publishes an advanced article on the influence of the brain on human behavior and surprises people in the medical world. I won't go into details here, but it talks about how one should hate the sins instead of the sinner. The deceased Takano Hifumi and Takano Mio's names are mentioned in the article. Tomitaki Jiro still visits Hinamizawa every season. He is still known as a fighting, traveling photographer, and he continues to walk around the village looking for good picture spots. However, he isn't seen much in the village. His bicycle is always parked at the backside of the clinic, so maybe he spends a lot of time at the clinic. Oh, because Takano is there? Some villagers say maybe he's sick and being treated, but his bright smile proves they are wrong. Takano Mio hasn't been seen since that day. Nobody knows where she has gone to. Obviously, Tomitaki isn't worried, so she must be doing fine. She'll probably show up one day out of nowhere and start telling ghost stories to scare some kids. What happened to Akasaka Mamoru is so funny. His wife and daughter followed him secretly. They pretended to run into him at the festival. Oh my god. Rika called Akasaka Papa, so things got complicated suddenly. Oh my god. Akasaka's wife smiled, but she choked his neck with her. Oh yeah, Akasaka, you got yourself a hell of a wife. Choked his neck with her braided hair. Her arms were folded, but her braided hair moved like a tail. I believe it. His wife tortured a man who destroyed a special unit without even using a weapon. Rika continued to tease him, making the situation even worse. God damn it, Rika! However, Akasaka's family liked Hinamizawa and said they wanted to come back. Akasaka's daughter and Rika became so close they looked like sisters. Yes! Best boy! Oishi Karada has gotten back into playing Mahjong. You're goddamn right. But now Sonozaki Akane has become his Mahjong buddy, and sometimes things get extremely... Oh my god, yes! Get extremely heated. His colleagues say Oishi has calmed down quite a bit. It's probably because he has reached a closure within himself. But his colleagues know nothing about it. He's planning to move to Hokkaido when he retires, but he wants to come back every summer. His bright second life is waiting for him. Good. That is really good. Kasai Tatsuyoshi hasn't changed much compared to the others. To some people, this was a life-changing event, but to him, it was simply another episode of his martial story. I almost read that as marital. I almost read that as fucking marital.
This entire thing was just another marital episode. Okay, honey, I killed a few people, but just to let you know, I remembered your birthday.
According to Kasai, this incident was just a little bigger than usual. Oh god. Kasai, literal badass. If this was just a little unusual, then what would be needed to rock his world? Shion insists that he tell her, but Kasai only tells her that that's a secret. Also, he regrets exposing that part of his past. Shion begs him to tell her all about it, but he simply ignores her. Oh my god. Let me talk about myself, too. Oh!
I, Hanyu, am doing great in my new life as Furude Hanyu. I'm finally getting better at playing games, and now I am taking the role as Dark Horse of the club, a position I've taken over for Mayabara Keiichi. I have a bad habit of believing everything I hear, so Mion and the others always tell me some strange stuff.
That sounds about right.
Thanks to that, I am getting tougher, to put it in a good way. Shrewd, to put it in a bad way. But then I need to, otherwise I wouldn't survive in this club. I continue to learn a lot of stuff through the club activities that I need to be able to live in this human world.
And the music just stopped abruptly. This is Sunday, June 19th of the 58th year of the Showa era. Night is falling on my longest day of the past 1,000 years.
The club members are having so much fun. A lot of people are here. The stall vendors are still doing business. The speakers are playing exciting Japanese orchestra music. I've known all of these. But how wonderful it is to actually feel and hear it in person. I thought I knew. I thought I knew because I've been following and watching them. But that was completely different. I knew of it, but this is the first time for me to actually experience it. We had a takoyaki eating contest. There was no octopus in it, but it was still tasty. We had a shaved ice eating contest. I would have enjoyed the shaved ice if I had eaten it more slowly.
Oh yeah, oh god, the brain freezes.
I bought a candied apple for the first time. Everyone took a bite from it. It was tasty. It was fun. We played a shooting game. I didn't know how difficult it was to shoot a target, but it was fun. Also, we played a shady lottery game.
Of course you did!
It was one of those where you pulled a string and got a prize. Nobody got a good prize. We complained to the vendor. It was so much fun. Then it was time for the ritual dance. Of course, we were so ready. We commandeered the best seats. I snuck out and stood where I was told to. I could see better than the other club members. This is the spot where the object of worship sat. This is where I was supposed to be during the ritual dance. No, this is where I thought I had to be. But seeing the dance from that spot wasn't fun. Therefore, I returned to where I was and sat with everyone else. They saved my spot. Everyone rubbed my head while asking me where I went. I apologized by saying, "Oh, that made me happy." I watched the performance in the crowd of people. It was the best dance I've witnessed in the past 1,000 years. I couldn't keep my happiness and tears from flowing out. After the dance was over, a handful of cotton was passed around to all the villagers. We let the cotton absorb all the filth and sins of the past year and washed it down the stream. Cotton is cotton, not a human. We use cotton instead of a human so nobody is sad. In other words, this is the way to purify sins without making anyone sad. Here you are! This is for you, Hanyu-chan. Do you know how to do it? Yes, I do. I go like this and drift it down the stream, right? The girl who gave me the cotton took the letter I from her name during last year's Watanagashi and washed it down. By doing so, she was freed from her suffering and started a new life. We drift our sins down the stream. It's not the same as pushing our sins onto the cotton. Instead, we wash away our own sins and forgive ourselves. We forgive each other, we help each other, and that's how we create our history. I put my cotton in the stream gently. The cotton goes down the stream into the world where sins are cleansed. As I stand in the water, I keep looking at the cotton balls in the stream that disappeared into the darkness. This is a complete world where all the pieces are put together. This is an ideal world. What else is there? What else do you want? Furude Hanyu still wants more. Because we can be even happier. We can be happier if we wish to be happier. It's not in the far future. It's in the near future. And then when is it? I told you, it's in the near future. We will be happy. See? Higurashi when the cry die. Everyone is entitled to happiness. The difficult part is accepting that. Everyone is entitled to happiness. The difficult part is fulfilling that. I too am entitled to happiness. The difficult part is working out a compromise. Because from now on, I'm going to live a much happier life. I'm not going to compromise with just this. We'll retrieve all the happiness we missed. 100 years worth for me, 1,000 years worth for you. Frederica Bernkostel.
A report on the coup d'etat of the Erie Institution. Proposal. Regarding the coup d'etat of the Erie Institution, one of the responsibilities of the II was Emergency Manual number 34. Some people decided to abuse it and plan to execute. The institution sub-director Takanami and First Lieutenant Okanagi could have arrived. They came up with a scheme for the riot. The authorities of the institution were detained immediately at university to attack the institution. I cannot read all this fast enough. I am really sorry. Honest to goodness, I cannot read this fast enough. You're talking of sub-director of the inquiry committee is conclusive the major is the ringleader of the situation. When she has recovered enough, she will be handed over to the disciplinary committee. Okay. Committed to barring since he was willing to talk in his interrogation, he can contribute to the solving of this case. Extra. Some members of the inquiry committee have mentioned that the committee isn't being managed normally. I think we should consider. Is this acceptable? If I may get your approval, I'll report to your residence tomorrow evening. Nomura! Sorry. Okay. What's this song that's playing right now? I know it's gonna get claimed. And I want to listen to it, but... You know what? Fuck it. If it gets claimed, it gets claimed. I mean, as long as it doesn't get striked, I think I should be fine. Okay. I want to give my final thoughts, but I still have that extra that I gotta witness. There's gotta be more. At least I think there has to be. Higurashi. The series that got the channel up off the ground. That got me interested in doing a lot of voice acting in general. I read that as propane mode for a minute there. It is, again, it is another feeling here. I mean, it's pretty much what happened with Umineko. This has been the longest lasting. Maybe not the longest in terms of episodes, but it has been one of the longest living series that I've done on this channel, bar none. DS Era is getting pretty close, but this is the one that really has left its mark. Not only on me, but just this channel in general. Oh, English version staff. Cool! The company pre-die holder Rengoku Tsibyon Hirakazu Koshio. Special thanks to Hobbybox Code, copyright Ryokishi. Oh. That was actually relatively short on that. Okay, I'll just keep continuing to gather my thoughts here. It's very much like Umineko that I don't want it to end. It's you wanting to you want to witness the end, but at the same time, you don't want it to end. It's a very contradictory feeling, you know? Oh. God! I was taking a drink of water there. God damn! I wasn't ready for that! Thank you for the scenario jump! The tips reading room has been unlocked. I can read all the tips. Hooray! Holy fuck. Thank you. The staff room. Hooray! This is a thank you message for purchasing the game. Mm-hmm. You have received a new tip. The Forbidden Treasure Onigari no Ryo. Ooh. Ooh. Interesting. Also glad that the title changed again. Alright. Hello, this is Ryukishi07. Thank you for playing Matsuribayashi. No. Thank you very much for playing Higurashi When They Cry until the end. Matsuribayashi is, in a way, a solution episode of Takano and the kids starting from halfway through Minagaroshi. How can they defeat Takano's conspiracy? How can they reach their ideal ending? I wrote this episode as a duel between you, the reader, and me, the writer. So if you think you created a better resolution world than my Matsuribayashi, that means you've defeated Ryokishi 7 in this duel. I, Ryokishi 7, have provided 2 resolutions. One is how to fight against Takano. First, here's a hint for the Minagaroshi episode. You find out about Takano's conspiracy, which relies on emergency manual number 34. Next, here are hints for the Watanagashi and Mayakashi episodes. It has been 48 hours after Rika's death, yet the village is peaceful. If you put those 2 things together, obviously the basis of the emergency manual, which Takano Hifumi inscribed, that everyone will develop final phase symptoms within 48 hours, isn't true. When you think carefully, if Rika's death was discovered after 48 hours of her death, the final operation could be avoided. In the Matsuribayashi episode, I wrote about an attacking side and a defending side like a novel. If I were to simply write about the resolution, all I had to write was for Oishi to announce that Rika died at least 48 hours ago, and Takano's conspiracy would fall apart once the news reached Tokyo. This is rather an easy resolution, like a puzzle, so I'm sure many of you got this right. The other resolution was the ideal ending for this world. To answer this, I have to explain the worldview of this world first. There are hints all over, but the crucial ones are in the Tatari Goroshi and Minagaroshi episodes. Satoko's uncle comes home and Satoko's life becomes stressful. No shit! How can she be rescued from that situation? If this story was an exercise in murder, then the Tatari Goroshi episode is correct. Keiichi kills Teppai and hides his body well. There is a happy ending. But I didn't end the episode that way. Instead, I denied it with a bad ending. The resolution the worldview of Higurashi When They Cry advocates is a non-violent one, with everyone united as one. That is established in question episodes, such as the Onikakushi, Watanagashi, and Tatai Goroshi episodes. In those worlds, when one becomes suspicious about everything and worries about it alone, things get worse and that leads to tragedy. The Mayakashi episode is the sublimation of that situation. On the other hand, when one talks to friends, it's revealed that the causes of the tragedies are quite stupid. That is indicated in the Tatsumi Horoboshi and Minagaroshi episodes. In other words, can you see that in the worlds of Higurashi, anything can be defeated when they talk to each other and help each other? Well, yeah, whenever the story would suddenly shift to violence, it would just catapult and just it would be a roller coaster all the way down just to... No, the better analogy is that as soon as the violence starts, it would just start going downhill. No matter what obstacles get in the way, it would continue to just keep rolling down until it got to the inevitable tragedy. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen in reality. Helping each other creates friction, and oftentimes, working alone is a lot simpler. However, we always hope that we can connect with other people and understand each other so we can face any difficulty. In that sense, this world is a fantasy. That's right. In the worlds of Higurashi, there is one magical rule. That is, to talk to others and accept help from them. Then you can defeat anything. It is possible to make a miracle happen. If that can be cast into an absolute rule, it would be a magical, systematic miracle. Just like what Hanyu and her friends said in the story. That is the worldview of Higurashi When They Cry. If you follow that rule and think about an ideal ending, I bet the first thing you think about is an ending where all the club members unite and defeat Takano. Actually, there are scenes in the Matsuribayashi episode that affirm that ending. However, at the same time, Takano is described as a very lonely person. By doing so, I raise a question about the resolution. Everyone else unites, defeats Takano, and makes her into a sacrifice. This is a happy ending for everyone except Takano. It is a very popular style of story for the protagonist to unite and sacrifice the antagonist. Aliens come to the Earth to invade us, so the world unites and defeats the aliens. Hooray for humans! We must get along! This is a very popular storyline all over the world. There are plenty of stories that use aliens, devils, or monsters as clear bad guys, and make them into sacrifices. Two parties fighting with each other become allies once the third party shows up. Storylines like these are indeed exciting. By adding a sacrifice, parties unite and become allies. To create the situation, there has to be always the third enemy, sacrifice, as well. I'm sure many of those who created stories must have already noticed that. Therefore, we always add a third enemy that can't possibly unite with us. To make up with each other, we try to find a common enemy. Am I the only one who feels that describes our world today? No? You're not wrong. In reality, this world belongs to only humans. There are no aliens or devils or monsters. So for us to find an enemy, we have to fight each other forever. To make up with each other, we need a new enemy. We will be fighting forever. I declare that this is the demon of our human world in Higurashi. With these explanations of the worldview in mind, do you wonder if the resolution of defeating Takano is in fact an ideal resolution of the Matsuribayashi episode? I mean, I admit, there were a few times that I had my emotions fucking with me. I let myself, be clouded by, not only hatred, but also sorrow. It was a weird combination of feeling god-awful for Takano and just also hating what she was doing. But especially near the end, it was very clear that she was completely losing herself. She wasn't thinking straight. Okanogi pretty much pointed out that she was, losing her marbles and she wasn't listening to anybody. In that moment, I could only, knowing her past and everything else, I could only just feel bad for her. She doesn't need a bullet. She needs help. That's right. That is basically the same foolishness found in the Tatori Goroshi episode. According to that logic, the Minagaroshi episode isn't the best resolution of the problems that surround Satoko's rescue either. Do you get that? How can they make up with Takano? You wouldn't suggest to make Tokyo a new enemy and let the club members join with Takano, would you? No. If I continue to talk about this issue, I'll probably end up talking some religious issues, so let me stop here. What kind of ending would be the best ending that follows the worldview of Higurashi when they cry? Perhaps it's something better than the Matsuribayashi episode. This question will be a graduating question for Higurashi when they cry. Maybe I will leave the question as my final gift to those who enjoyed Higurashi when they cry for 4.5 years. Thank you for reading this extremely complicated story. Thank you for writing it! In the end, what is this story? If I were to put the answer to that question in one word, it would be entertainment. It was not important if you were able to answer the riddles. After all, whoever enjoyed it won. Ryukishi 7 will continue to challenge. Higurashi, When They Cry, ends here, but I hope I get to see you again in a different world. What kind of work do I want to create next? Maybe it's fitting to choose my next work from an infinite number of possibilities while listening to the chorus of Higurashi. I want to express my gratitude to all the people who have supported me until today. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Ryukishi 07. Fuck, man. I think getting into Ryukishi related stuff was probably one of the best decisions I think I've made. Not only for, introducing me to not only the Umineko fandom, but also the Higurashi fandom. But just... It's kind of hard for me to come up with the proper words, Alright, the Forbidden Treasure. The Forbidden Treasure, Onigari no Ryo, is the most valuable asset of the Furude Shrine that's stored in the shrine storage. In ancient times, when this place was a chaotic world of both humans and demons, this precious sword defeated the demon god. However, nobody has seen it for 1,000 years. According to the legend, it is sealed in the statue of Oyashiru-sama that's dedicated to the shrine storage. Because of its structure, as long as the belief continues, the sword will be sealed forever, and it will be a forbidden tool. Also, it is only mentioned in the sealed prohibited books of the Furude Shrine. Therefore, only a handful of the Furude family leaders know about its existence. According to several prohibited books, the sword is shaped like a willow branch. Shaped like a willow branch? There are some ink paintings of the sword, made by a few Furude leaders, but none of them match. That means they drew those paintings with their imaginations. The legend says there was a girl named Oka who received a divine message that commanded her to defeat the demon god. However, neither human swords nor demon swords can defeat the demon god. It requires a sword that's neither a human sword or a demon sword. Only a sword that mixes human and demon qualities can defeat the demon god. It has been said repeatedly that the ancestors of Hinamizawa are half demon and half human. Furude Oka is said to be the first person whose blood was mixed, and this description is what conveys that. Heaven gave Oka a precious sword. The precious sword was shaped like a willow branch. Its tip spread in 3 ways, which symbolizes heaven, earth, and people in unity. It also symbolizes the harmony between heaven, demons, and humans. Oka headed to the swamp where the demon god hid and defeated him with the precious sword. Each prohibited book describes differently how she defeated the demon god. Some say she disciplined him, some say he ran away, some say he surrendered. What happened to the demon god afterwards is unclear too. The oldest book says the precious sword smashed the demon god's horn, but other books don't mention that. The precious sword that defeated the demon god was enshrined and was named Onigari no Yurio. Sorry if I butchered that pronunciation. But Oka sealed this precious sword in the deepest place of the shrine to forbid its existence forever. Even if it was created to slay the demon god, the sword didn't belong in this world anymore, and shouldn't exist on the face of the earth. Some said that was why it was taken away from the human world. But some said Oka was the daughter of the demon god, and she wanted to banish the sword that killed her mother. The ancient Oyashiru-sama cult suggested Oyashiru-sama was the demon god, the source of chaos, the source of all that was bad, and the source of all friction. To prevent the demon god from coming back to the human world through worship and comforting is the root of the ancient cult. This may be a kind of false god cult. It's not asking for protection. Rather, it enshrines a sword to manage a curse, which is the same line of thinking as the Oyashiru-sama belief. The present-day image of the Oyashiru-sama cult is a little different from that, though. All friction is caused by Oyashiru-sama, and demons don't exist in the human world. It follows the theory that human nature is goodness. After that, the legend continues on to what we know today, the harmony of humans and demons. But in this era, all the books of the origin of the faith in Oyashiru-sama and the books of the patriarch of the Furude family have been sealed because they're forbidden. That happened probably because the new image of Oyashiru-sama, that of a loving and affectionate god, and the ancient image of Oyashiru-sama, the source of all evil, didn't match. It became too difficult to explain the doctrine. Also, if one believed the forbidden books, the Furude family was descended from the one who killed her own mother. That would mean their blood was cursed. If everything was true, then today's faith is different from the one that was started by the patriarch of the Furude family. One of the leaders of the Furude family, from 100 years ago, wrote this.
The Onigari no Ryo, the legendary precious sword, is the symbol of the Furude family and the sins of the human world. It was an era where people pushed the source of their evil onto others, and could only purify their sins by killing one another. The patriarch of the Furude family
Took in the root of all evil herself and let her child kill her. That was how this place was freed from the chaos. 1. The patriarch of the Furude family usually means Furude Oka, but sometimes it means her mother. The notion that the patriarch of the Furude family was a demon god was a taboo among the Furude family. However, obviously some leaders interpreted it that way. When the Furude family try to push their sins onto others again, and the human world tries to change back to the demon world, that is when faith will disappear, and the statue's head will shatter. That's when the Onigari no Ryo will reappear to us. That is the second advent of the forgotten sins of the Furude family. Is the demon god just a legendary imagination? Or did he really exist? In some rare cases, babies were born with horns, and they were called children of the demon god. Descendants of the Furude family who will read this, there are numerous forbidden books that deliver myths, but they are all so different. But don't let them puzzle you. No matter how different all the books are, there is one thing they all want to convey. Search the heart of Furude Oga, the one who sealed the Onigari no Ryo forever. That is the fate that all the Furude family leaders must understand. The Onigari no Ryo. Huh. Huh. Well, there's one more thing to do. Once again, thank you very much for this, Daniel Dawson, thank you very much for this. Now I have no idea what to do here. That's cracked. Wait. Flag from the kids' meals. She needs to be rescued. What?
I'm going to play outside.
A girl's cheerful voice echoes in the house. This is a tenement house, so walls are thin. Of course, her voice carries through to the neighbors, but since it's a child's voice, nobody complains.
Miyoko, we're thinking about going to the mall.
Her father's voice doesn't reach this girl because all she's thinking about is making a new secret base with her friends in the field. Her father knows the girl has been looking forward to going to the mall, and if they went without her, she would be upset. He also knows that the girl likes collecting flags from the kids' plate at a restaurant, and one more would make her collection to be 20 flags. The girl tries to make a wish on a flag from the kids' plate. She believed if she collected 20 of them, she could become happy. Oh well. I guess he'll bring a flag home as a souvenir. It won't be a big deal. If he asks a waitress, she'll bring one for him. On that day, due to an accident, the trains were running behind the schedule. To make up for the time lost, drivers were driving the trains by braking a little too late and accelerating a bit too soon. It was rather unsafe. The Tanashi family doesn't own a car. They always use a train to go to the mall. As the girl skips her way to her friend's house, an unfamiliar woman stops her. Obviously, she isn't from this area. The ties between the neighbors are very tight around here. She knows everyone's face, so if there's a stranger, it's either a new mailman or someone who's lost. The woman says to the girl,
"Do you want to live, or do you want to die?"
Any person would think this woman is crazy asking something like that, but the girl is too innocent to think that way. The girl answers immediately,
"I want to live."
"Okay, then go. Your friend isn't home, but go on."
"She isn't home?"
The girl can't figure out why this woman knows that. As the woman leaves, she stops her. She's curious, although it is a little spooky at the same time. What kind of response she would get if she answered differently?
If I want to die, then what?
You'll get another flag from a kid's plate.
Eh? Hey, that's not fair. They're going without me. That's not fair.
The girl tries to run back home. Are you sure? You won't regret? The mysterious woman tries to confirm.
Why would I regret?
I won't tell you. I mean. The girl thinks this is some kind of a riddle, so she thinks for a while, but she can't figure out. Then she claps her hands as if she has come to a conclusion.
It's okay,
Why is it okay?
because my parents will be with me.
The woman steps aside. The girl bows to her and runs home. Huh. She sees her parents locking the door to leave. The girl jumps onto them and nags to them that she wants to go too. The girl is going to the mall with her family. The family heads to the train station, waits for a train to arrive, and gets on it. The driver is feeling pressure to make up for the delay, and the passengers can tell that from the way he's driving. The girl notices the unusual swaying of the train. She stands on her knees and looks out. Her mother tells her to sit down because it's dangerous. The girl sticks her tongue out. Then, the train reaches to a very big and very sharp curve. The train tilts to that direction and all the people are shoved. People are all squished and they moan. Then, the train continues. Wait, what? The girl and her parents come home under the sky full of stars with shopping bags in their hands. Wait. They unlock the door and turn the lights on. Then the girl puts her bags by the front door and runs into her room. She pulls out her desk drawer, takes something out of her pocket, and puts it in the drawer. She closes the drawer once, but opens it again. Then she spreads her treasure on the tatami floor. There are flags of many different countries that came with the kids' plate. Japanese flag, American flag, English flag. Which country is this for? The one with 3 colors. Then she lines them up as she counts. She counts out loud. She starts to dance happily, because now she has 20 of them. It took her so long to collect this many. It was hard work for this girl, and she was so proud of herself for reaching her goal. She worked so hard that there must be something good waiting for her. She made a wish to become happy if she collected 20 of them. Therefore, something wonderful must be waiting to happen. The girl waits excitedly, but it's not a magic lamp, so a genie won't be jumping out. Maybe it won't happen tonight. Maybe it'll be tomorrow. The girl decides to wait patiently. She accomplished something as great as collecting 20 flags. Surely something happy will happen. Surely something miraculous will happen. Or maybe it'll be like a charm to chase away unhappiness. The girl puts 20 flags back in the drawer. As she hears her mother tell her to brush her teeth and go to bed, she runs to the bathroom. This isn't bad, is it? It's okay to get in advance of a miracle. What should I do next? There are plenty of pieces I can play with. What? You want to try too? It's fun. It makes you feel like God. A world with Satoshi or a world with the Sonozaki sisters on Switched. I wonder what a world is like with Satoku's parents and Rika's parents alive and well. Oh, how about this? Akasaka gets persuaded by Takano and becomes an enemy. That sounds interesting.
Personally, I'm curious about a world where Takano is madly in love with Toмотaki. It'll be fun to match Keiichi with different girls, too. I love Shambles very much.
Let's see, what should I do next? I have so many pieces.
Hey, do you want some? What do you want to do?
The
world of Higurashi will move on even without us. There are many dreams, possibilities, and miracles in that world. They are innumerable pieces, all interweaved with one another. I've shown you a small number of those pieces, but it's up to you to play with the rest of them. The world of Higurashi is now in your hands. It is a big, wide world full of pieces, and they are yours to manipulate. Your dreams, your possibilities, and your miracles are yours to discover. I thank you for joining me on this 4.5-year tale about this world. Thank you for all the support me with this 4.5 years about this world. I thank for all the characters about this 4.5-year tale about this world to live. I thank my family who have given their understanding for this work. I thank my coworkers. I thank my friends. I thank while I'm on the same great person who created this work. I think this work itself, the unforgettable 4.5 years it's given me. I think the fact that we had a legacy of the past 4 years of work. I thank all the people who take me. I give up. I give up. I give up. Okay, that's a hell of a way to end it. So that was the reward you get for doing it in the right order. That's a hell of a reward. Oh, God. Everybody gets a happy ending. Well, I mean, except for Satoshi. He's still kind of recovering. Okay. Okay. I don't want to end this so abruptly right now. So I'll go ahead and kind of go over my feelings about Higurashi in general. This was my first experience going through with some of Ryukishi's work, and going through Higurashi inspired me to really want to try out like Umineko and all that. Not to mention it was highly recommended. So while this one unfortunately had to deal with a lot of delays due to waiting for voice acting, but it got to the point where it was probably better off that I do the voices myself rather than wait. I know some people were probably very upset that I didn't wait for the voice actors, but the delays were kind of getting on me, and while I am normally a very, very patient person, with Higurashi, I did not want to lose the impact of any scenes. I did not want to forget too much about what was going on. And unfortunately, that was the one thing that I feared, was forgetting certain details, and that was something that I was afraid of. With Umineko, I was able to take my own pace, and I was able to do that much more effectively. Not only because it had voice acting, but because it was all done. It was all fully voice acted, and everything was already prepared to be done. This, on the other hand, not so much. So I understand some people were a little upset about that, but I wanted to experience this tale before it lost any of its luster, and thankfully I'm glad that I was able to. Now, with the story, this was different than Umineko. With Umineko, that one I was much more engaged in the mystery. I'm not saying that I wasn't engaged here, but what really made this really difficult was just because of the delays that I was going through, which that kind of sucked. I made the decision that I wanted to wait till voice acting, and then I had to rescind that decision because it was taking a bit too long. So I feel like I may have lost out a little bit on the engagement of trying to figure out the mystery of this story, of this whole thing. And I will apologize for that. What I probably should have done was I should have just gone blazing through... I'm not really blazing through it, you know what I mean. I should have taken like the Umineko approach and gone through this, voice acting as much as I possibly can. Not to mention... this having like a different system than Umineko did. Not going to say anything about Umineko because I know that there are some people that are probably blind. So I'm not going to say anything about that. That's where I'm going to end that. So, I'm going to kind of go over some of my more favorite moments of this. And the biggest thing that kind of stuck out to me was right at the very smack dab beginning, Onikakushi. The moment that thing started to take a sinister turn. That right there, that was one of the more pivotal moments that really got me engaged into this story. And Onikakushi, well, yeah, it definitely got me started. It lured me in with its cutesy style. And way back then, I wasn't sure entirely of what I was getting myself into. But then Rena made that face. Oh yeah! Speaking of Rena, me constantly mispronouncing her name for the longest time. I was pronouncing it as Rena. No, it's Rena, you dumb sorcerer, you. Yeah, I'm an idiot on that one. So, I think Onikakushi is definitely going to be the one that kind of sticks out the most to me, because that was what got me into this. Like, it really got me into the thick of it with the horror. Then, the more I learned more of each character, the more I was getting much more invested. The one that I really got emotionally invested in, two of them actually, were Mayakashi and Tataori Goroshi. I liked how the question arcs had, like, a certain character that they were associated with. Tataori Goroshi being, you know, Satoko. Onikakushi just being, I guess, technically Rena? That one was not the Rena-focused one. That was more or less Keiichi, and us as me as an audience just kind of getting into, like, okay, this village is kind of creepy. And now I'm just like, I actually care about this village. And some of the more horror elements were actually pretty good. And even though I really didn't get to enjoy the voice acting all that much, I think I only had voice acting for like maybe 2 of the novels. One was the one with Akasaka, and the other one was with Shion, I believe. I think. I can't remember. I'm upset that I cannot remember all that much. Or specifically with the voice acting, I can't remember which one had the voice acting the most. I know that we managed to patch in the one with Akasaka. Speaking of which, favorite characters? Motherfucking Oishi! Even though at the beginning I was, you know, very much suspicious of him. You know, how about you take a seat in my AC? My car's got some AC, it's pretty good. That one was definitely a little suspicious. But he ended up growing to be my most number one favorite character, because he was portrayed very much like as an actual policeman, for crying out loud. He was, even if he was kind of antagonistic during the tale with Shion and Satoshi, it was understandable. He was a cop doing his job, and while Satoshi, you know, it was messed up. He killed his aunt, goddammit, but, and I can understand why he did it, but it's still a bad thing to kill somebody. So Oishi, in that regard, while he was portrayed in a more negative light, he was literally doing his job. So, and I also feel bad that I ever doubted the Sonozaki family. Like, my god. Brain parasites! Literally what Takano was talking about. And then I'm like, oh shit, that actually makes sense. But then you guys are like, are you sure? Then you made me doubt, and I'm like, oh god damn it, wait, is it real? No, that can't be right. Help! I don't know what to believe anymore. It's freaking like Umineko all over again. You guys just love tormenting me. But now with Umineko and Higurashi, I can get to the point where I can torment people that are blind to it. Ha ha! You guys must have been enjoying yourselves on this, haven't you? Alright. Shion and Mion debate. I already know that Mion is Newt's best girl, so I'm going to keep it up with the rivalry. Shion is clearly the best. Another thing that I liked was how well written a few of the characters, well, actually, pretty much all the characters were actually kind of well written. Even if some of them were like very one-dimensional. Well, I want to say one-dimensional, like Tepai, like everybody wants to beat that guy's skull in, I'm pretty sure at this point. I think I'm confident in saying that everybody wants to put him through the ringer. But they gave him a kind of character. He was cartoonishly evil. But the sad part is, there are people that are like that. But I liked what this story did. Again, it's back with the Umineko thing. I'm at a loss for words to properly summarize how much this is probably one of those novels that's going to be sticking with me, because hell, to this day, Umineko still haunts me. In a good way, though. It haunts me in a good way, I promise. It's not like I can hear people... No, I'm not going to say that. It's not like I can hear people constantly laughing at me in the dark. That's totally not a thing or anything like that, no. But this goddamn novel, if anything, it taught me how to pace myself with my voice acting, even if I ended up going a little too fast sometimes. I mean, hell, to be fair, whenever I first started doing the Oishi voice, I gotta tell ya, that voice actually used to tear my throat up, believe it or not. Now, I can just do it like normal. And what really sucks, I'm gonna miss voicing that dude. I'm gonna be really missing voicing Oishi. It's gonna suck not being able to do that anymore. Oh well, Oishi shall live on in other character voices. Very much like the Morgana voices, well... If anything, this kind of helped me improve my terrible range of feminine voices, which, let's be fair, all my feminine voices suck. To be fair. But, as one of the first novels that, got me into Ryukishi's work, and what helped launch this channel, get this channel up off the ground, I want to say thank you to everybody who watched, everybody who participated, and everybody who supported this series for as long as it's been lasting. Thank you for your support. It really, truly does mean a lot to me. It's a hell of a motivator, I'll tell you. And even though he can't hear it, I would like to personally thank Ryukishi for making such a good story for me to get to experience. It was, honest to goodness, just great. I loved pretty much this one. The horror in this one was real good. Even if there were times that I kind of got way into character, but that's kind of what a good novel is. You can get into the headspace of each character, and you just really you just go out. You really get into their headspace. So I loved it. And unfortunately, that means that this video is coming to an end. It's kind of somber ending this after doing this for so long. I'm wondering if they're ever going to do the voice acting patches for that, and if they do, I might go check those out, because there are certain scenes that I want to see voice acted, like Mion versus Okanogi, or Oishi manhandling Otaku, or whatever the fuck his name is. That was beautiful. Those are just a few of the scenes that I would love to hear. Now that I've actually seen this, now that I've finally experienced Higurashi in its entirety, I'm gonna watch the anime now. Because in my bedroom, believe it or not, a very long time ago, I bought the Higurashi DVDs. Not the Higurashi Kai. Apparently there is a sequel series called Higurashi Kai, the anime. Haven't got those yet. But this is like... Actually, you know what? I haven't even opened this goddamn thing. It's still in this plastic wrap that I got years ago. And that is a shit ton of dust. Holy fuck. This has about 600 minutes. That's... Oh, the complete first season. There we go. This thing is still in its plastic wrapping. Every episode, 1 to 26. And that is a ludicrous amount of dust. I need to start dusting these things more often. I think I'm going to finally get to go experience that. And you know what? I might do that in my Discord server using the live stream function. I might give that a shot. Maybe we can have ourselves a nice little movie watch in the Discord sometime. But, once again, I want to give everybody the biggest thank you for joining me on this. This was a great experience. Let me know. They'd improve my voice acting to such a degree that I can start doing certain voices without even hurting myself, and it just kind of kicks in like that. And I'm left with that feeling. I'm just gonna keep rambling on about this again. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for joining, and thank you guys very much for supporting this series. And God. Thank you all, and I'll see you guys in the next episode, or next episode. Oh, damn it, I don't want this to end. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.